Hello and good afternoon. It's another Wednesday Live with Neil, the guy that's going to help you become a confident contractor. We offer all sorts of services for contractors in order to help them focus on what they're good at, which is delivering services to the customer, and we'll look after you and your business. So today we are talking about goals. Let me switch over there before I forget. And there's a little bit of a picture of me, in case I forget what I look like. And let's talk about some goals. So what you're going to do, you have to have some goals, and you need to set the goals. And there's several different types of goals as well. I mean, there's the goals, we call them goals, maybe wishes. You know, I wish I could win the lottery, or I wish I could find a special thing that you're looking for. And then there's the slightly more realistic goals right at the other end is, can I make it to the end of the month without running out of money? And then there's the sort of average space goals, the sort of goal, you know, I remember having when I started my contractor journey, where I would sometimes, you know, you go to the cash point machine and occasionally people ask for a balance, or it will spit it out anyway, and you know, just because, you know, it's rubbish, you want to put it in the bin, but you just glance down at the balance, because it knows you bugger anyway, and it said £3,000 in the bank account, and it didn't say OD after the overdrawn. And wow, I can imagine myself having a bank account that looked like that, but not this year, maybe not even next year, but soon. Anyway, I surpassed that a little while ago. But those middle type goals, they're sort of the more audacious ones that you like to keep in mind to keep you driving further forward. But what you're going to do on the 1st of January, the old New Year's resolutions. Lots of people say, oh yeah, I'm going to have a new resolution to join the gym. You know, gym memberships, they're absolutely packed in January. They're slightly less packed in February, and March all the regulars are like, well, we got our gym back after the January resolution setters have run out of steam or whatever. So there must be something else about goals as well that we need. And what sort of goal would you go for? Maybe more income and less spending. I mean, I don't know if you've seen a video recently where Lizzie is someone I speak with a lot, and she spoke about a budget. As I said at the top of this presentation, if only you could get to the end of the month without running out of money. I know that's a real goal for a lot of people, especially now. But good news, inflation is only 3.6% of today's figures, which is high, but a lot better than 10%. Stuff growing at a gradual rate is better than stupid rates. But that doesn't help when stuff is more expensive. But what does help is having a budget, or more income, or spending less. Either way, there's ways of getting around that particular goal of having money at the end of the month. Or maybe you're looking for that new project. Whatever you're working on at the moment, maybe that's come to a close, you've finished polishing it, polishing it to the point where maybe you're running out of stuff to polish, and you're looking for the new exciting goal to do, that new project, that new app. Maybe do something in Rust or Golang, or maybe just brush up on something more existing, maybe a different stack. If you're stuck in Azure, maybe switch to AWS or something like that. New projects, new customers, new things. Have it as an intention. And I'll use that word a lot, intention. Or as pictured there, a nice holiday destination. Maybe you've been saving up for a little while now for that big holiday, and maybe you want to start saving for that big holiday. But it's not just about spending the money on paying for the holiday, the flights and the hotels and the fun activities you're going to go have there. It's also about having that space to have time off. That's sometimes an issue. Or maybe you want to improve your relationship. Again, time is a thing to be budgeted as well as money. If you budget your time well, you can get all of your work done and then have some fun time for you. You are important for you. Likewise, in a budget, it's important for you to have your fun money. Now, have that coffee with guilt. Already haven't done it yet. Again, it's an intention. Goals are an intention to do something. Done yet. The relationships can be improved by spending time with the people you love and care for. Or maybe you want new relationships. Download that app, or so they are these days. I don't know, I've been out of the scene for a while. What with my wedding ring and stuff. Perfectly happy in my current relationship. But even current relationships need work and time, so we can improve those too. And family. Spending time with your family, or you don't have a family yet and you plan to have a family. That is also an intention. Lots of things that you can make that happen. So how are you going to get it? Goal setting is one of the things that I've used as a tool to get these. The first thing you should do is write it down. Once you've written it down, it seems more real straight away. Now, some people advocate you should tell other people. I'm not so sure about that. Sometimes I tell somebody about my goal. Don't do it these days, but when the younger me would say, hey, I'm going to do this year, it's going to be blah and whatever. And you get two reactions to that. You'll either get the good for you, or you'll get the, I don't know why you're wasting your time, mate. You're not going to get that. Just stay safe. Don't push those boundaries. And I get more the latter than the former in my circle. Share them anymore with those. However, if you need a coach, or if you've got a coach, then that's the ideal person to. Or maybe your best friend or someone you trust, because not only will they say yes, congratulate you and encourage you, but also hold you to account. So that goal you wrote down? How far or how close are you to getting it now? Have you made any actions today? So the second thing about having a goal, write it down, have the intention, and then you need to take action towards it. How are you going to get it? More income, spending less, or just budgeting is a thing. But that more income could cross over with the new project goal. The spending less could cross over with those solar panels that you always. There's all sorts of things how sometimes these goals line up together. So write them down as the first stage. But actually, no. Have the intention is the first. Write them down, second stage. Third stage is tie some sort of emotion to that goal. How will it make you feel when you achieve it? And then the last stage, if you like, is decide what actions you need to take to make small steps achieving that. Might be reaching out to somebody on LinkedIn, assist you with a search. That's something I did last week, and boy, that's lifted a weight off of my shoulders. Less stressed as a result, which is always good coming out of Christmas season. So you could seek out a salary increase, or you can spend less and have a budget. What about that new project? How could that look? I'm a bit biased, but then you wouldn't be here if you didn't know what my bias is going to be. Get a contract. If you're a permanent employee right now, I guarantee you're probably underpaid. Or if you're not underpaid, you've got more responsibility than you need. And I made the classic move. I was in permanent employment. I climbed up the greasy ladder and got to team leader, and then worked out that I didn't actually like being a team leader. Very weird space if you've never been in there. Ask me about that later in the comments, perhaps. But I took on more responsibility, and so whilst the salary wasn't bad, it did package. Moved over to contracting, and two things happened. My income increased, and I had less responsibility. I mean, crikey, that is like, isn't it? And holidays, destinations, destination maybe stay at home, but just taking a break, spending time with your family. And maybe this is the wrong time to say this, because Christmas can be a bit fraught when dealing with families. And maybe exactly the thing you want to do is take some time off and sit in the shed and not see anybody. But we've been doing lots of that since lockdowns. Maybe that's true for you. But those relationships are important. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a relationship. Spending time and going to places. And this is how these cross over. Take time off, you budget for the more money, get the more money so it can pay for the holiday, then allows you to have time and work with your individual relationships that you have, and you can take them on holiday at the same time. Wow, so much stuff all at once. But with family, more time, more family. I know that there's quite a few of my colleagues that work on a project right now. We've had 2 babies this year. Ooh, growing those families, and it's a very exciting time for them. But they're not babies for very long. You want they're both contractors, by the way, and they've got that flexibility to say, well, actually, I don't want to do Mondays in the office, or I don't want to do Mondays working from home on a call all day. I want to be able to focus that time on family, children, and they've got that flexibility to do that. So the 3 stages: the resolution, the intent of what you're going to do, the goal, write it down, exactly what you need, and the how, what you're going to take, the actions, the steps you're going to take to get there. And don't forget, of course, the emotion that you're going to feel to achieve that goal. You can feel that emotion now in anticipation. That'll help you drive the actions forward. And of course, being a contractor helps you exercise more freedom, more choices. How when you get paid, how when you can take those holidays, and maybe the biggest holiday of all, how and when to save for retirement. Choices also mean compliance. The bad. But it's not that complicated. I've got a course that I can guide you through, show you what these individual steps are in a little bit more detail, and the decisions and the responsibilities that come with becoming a contractor, including compliance and reporting to HMRC. Or we can take all of that off your hands after showing you what we are going to do for you, and then do it for you so you can focus on after your. And choices with cash flow. Cash flow means that you can decide how the money comes into your personal bank account. Working, it sits in the business. The business is a separate entity, and they report on the stuff and profits, and then the money comes to you. But you can decide you want some of that money in the business for later, you want it to come to you for a special purchase. Maybe you want a Tesla or something like that. Or you can decide to have a payday whenever you want. As long as you have the invoices coming in to cover that, the accounting, so everything's written down, you cover off the tax so that they don't come to you. That's how they got Al Capone, by the way. And you can decide when your payday is. So if that sounds interesting and appealing to you, we got a quiz that will tell you how ready you are. Or to put it another way, how much we can help you. Head along to devopscontractor.scoreapp.com and you'll be greeted with a little thing. Takes a couple of details, your first name, last name and email address, and guides you into the quiz. Once you complete the quiz, you'll get a copy of my book, which I think is about there. Yeah, there you go. Can't point backwards. One of those, and also a report telling you exactly what you need to do so that you're ready to be a contractor. And so the contracting course answers questions about compliance, contracts, and cash flow. And if I can answer any other questions, put them in the comments. We'll get back to you with those as soon as we can. Thanks very much, and I'll see you maybe not next week. There's something happening, isn't there, next week? So we might take a little break for Christmas, and I'll see you in the new year.